monsters. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's just because my PS4 is one of the fucking early model PS4s, or if it's because it's been repaired because my fucking ex's 2-year-old put a goddamn penny in the disc slot, and I took it to a random Joe Schmo electronic repair. But like, I'm really fucking tired of my shit freezing and fucking up, and the stream's crashing, and it's irritating the shit out of me. That's what fucking happened last time. The stream literally motherfucking decided that it needed to die. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was so fucking stupid. Copy link. Here we go. Go to here. No, not Twitch, although to be fair... need to start doing that. I really do. I need to get up off my motherfucking ass, and I just need to get on goddamn Twitch in the mornings after I'm done doing up all my shit. Boop. The fuck? What do you mean Discord crashed? Here. Fuck. Yeah, I fucking know it is. What the fuck, phone? Why are you crashing? You were reset 6 fucking times today because I thought that the internet was goddamn working after the power outage this fucking morning. What the fuck? Alright, any fucking way. So, let me see. Was this where I needed to go? No, it was not. Okay. See, because last time after the fucking stream died, I went out of my fucking way to continue going the way that I was going before, just looking around. And I didn't find nothing. Like, literally did not find anything. So, I just kind of said, screw it, and continued doing what it was I was doing. Like... But this is starting to get on my nerves. Is it the cauldron I need to go to? It's either the cauldron or I need to go through the nook. You know what? Hold on. Spark of life. Told you if construct gone mad. Track it down and destroy it. Okay, well let's set that as active. Where's the bleep bloop? Oh, right. I already did that. So that's ready to be turned in. Okay. So let us go here. That one is way the fuck over there by the crucible. So I may have to double back and get that one here in a minute. Hammer's Forge. Brothers Lost Hammer and Shattered Forge. Something tells me that one's ready to be turned in. Yes, that one's ready to be turned in. Okay. Finding Kilgore Wood. I believe I've already done that. Okay, because then that's over there. Okay. To be fair, I could always head over that way and just see about fucking leveling up some of my equipment anyway, because how much cash do I have? Not as much as I thought, but to be fair, I could always go back and sell all my shit, because I believe everything else is pretty much set and ready to go. Doop 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 doop. Okay, the Deposed King. He's on the way to the Tree of Life, which is basically the next part of the story, so I'll worry about that later. On the way, do it later. You know, that's really the only fucking problem, because you could tell that this game was designed to be played on the PC. You're the one that I'm fucking thinking of. So yes, I need to go through the Nook. Okay, so I could do that, and then after I'm done doing that, I'll swing through the Weeping Crag and get some shit taken care of. Okay, so now that I know, get the... Are you fucking kidding me? You is a asshole, asshole. Alright, now what the fuck was I doing again? Going crazy, that's right, duh. Son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. So now while we're doing the fucking going places thing... Hold on, yes, what? Oh, okay. I love you too, baby. Actually, that's a good question. Did I get the thing here? Because I know there's a fucking thing here. Well, you're not really letting me check to see if I got the stuff here, game. You're just like, yeah, go do the... Ugh. I did not. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta fucking... Tell I haven't played this game in a fucking week since I was sick last week. Couldn't play on Thursday, which was irritating as fuck. Okay. See, I knew I had to go back there for a reason. Alright. Okay, now then, back to doing the riding around on the horse thing. So, I still, once again, like the title says, I don't understand how the fuck it's only goddamn Tuesday. With the shit that's happened since fucking Monday. Like, literally. Yep, just getting started. Only been going for like the last 7 minutes here, so you haven't really missed much. Other than the explanation of my PlayStation, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it, but it just likes to freak the fuck out sometimes with games. I don't know if it's because I have this digital on my system or what, but even if it wasn't, like, it still loves to fucking freeze up and crash, which is essentially what fucking happened last time. Like, that's why the stream died the other day, is it just fucking decided herp derp and crash. So, like I said, my streams don't have to go 2 hours long. If I make it to like an hour and a half, then fuck it, I did an hour and a half stream and we're good to go. So, sup, Explosion. But yeah, so literally, I don't know what the fuck the problem was the other day, but yeah, it literally was just like, derp! And shut itself off, and that's why last episode's stream was literally like an hour and a half. I didn't give a shit. I was like, we did an hour and a half, and the PlayStation's being dumb. I'm gonna give it time to stop being dumb. No, it's not a system update. It's been doing it for like fucking forever. I don't know if it's because my ex's kid put a fucking penny in the disc slot when we were together, and I didn't fucking realize it until I took it. No, I'm playing off the PS4. Mine's an early model PS4. Like, I think I got the motherfucker in February when it originally came out. You know what I mean? So, it's old as shit, man. Oh, fuck you! What do you mean Okay, hold on. Son of a whore. Okay, well then I'll go turn in the other fucking quests. Jesus fuck. Okay, go. Actually, can I just fast travel right to your location? Yes, fast travel right to your location. God damn it. But no, like, I'm playing it off the PS4, but I got it, like, in February when the PlayStation 4 originally came out. Which, since the 5 is out, that means since it was an early model PS4, I'd say that was like Jesus, like 13? It was like 12, 13, somewhere around there. So, I mean, it's old. It is old. I can't hold my breath long enough to go old for my fucking PS4. So, but that's because I had the fucking tax money at the time. Like, I got my taxes done, got the money back, because that's the one big thing about me, is as soon as it's like, hey,
something
fucking tax time, I'm like, okay, well, fucking filling it out.
Nightmare has, and I can still see the spark of. May the stone forgive us, horseman. I cannot forgive myself.
Yep,
was all
that's fine. I would like to sell. Because all this shit fucking sucks, lady.
I will offer.
And while that's cool, because it's super high, it's also level 17, and I can't do fucking shit with it, so sell it. And sell that. And sell that. And sell all of this. But either way, the PlayStation just herp-derped and had a fucking aneurysm. So it turned itself off, like the game crashed. So since the game crashed, I was just like, we did like a few hours worth of game. It's good enough. So I just took it as it was and just didn't turn it back on. I said, we did an hour and a half of stream. We're fucking good to go. So I know that's not exactly like the cool thing to do or, you know, anything like that. But again, we got a fuck ton. Ooh, hey, level up. But we got a fuck ton of talking done and all that. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, normally I notice it when it comes down to shit like Bethesda games. I don't know if it's just because of the way that they're made, but like, those will herp derp and die hardcore too.
I leave you to your work.
I'm trying to think, because I know that used to be a big thing with my 360. Like, it would freak out if I was playing. Well, it'd freak out if I was playing Fallout 3, but it would especially freak out if I was playing New Vegas. And some of that, it's hard to tell if it's just simply because I had like the Game of the Year edition type of thing, because I went out of my way to get the collectors. So the collector's edition came with like the comic book, the music CD, a behind the scenes of how it was made, like a bunch of random bits and bobs, but it ended up having a like a little bit of some DLC that came with it, and part of the DLC that ended up coming with it literally ended up fucking over my game. So cool, taking all. What did I get? I got the Fool card. Upon a new adventures, unknown traveler, the Fool, the Crucible has been unlocked on the world map. Take this card to okay. Good, because I was looking where the fucking Crucible was earlier and couldn't figure out where the fuck it was. But yeah, I mean, even on the PlayStation. Now, with the PS4, it's also hard to tell, because like Fallout 4 ran pretty good in the beginning, and then they were like, by the way, mods. And then I started downloading mods, and sometimes it'll work just fine, and other times it'll fuck up. And it's hard to tell if it's a game crash from the mod, or if it's, you know, a system crash just because, well, fuck it, just because, unfortunately. Like, sometimes the system will do that. I mean, it's a gaming system, for God's sakes. It's, you know, essentially what a video gaming system is anymore is it's an overpriced but dedicated gaming rig. Like, literally you can hook you can hook up a mouse and a keyboard using some of the like USB ports that they have on it, and you literally, if you can do it right, because I've actually seen it in like the YouTube videos where people like hook up a mouse and fucking keyboard and they get into the actual interface of the game system, and it's nothing more than like a fucking PC. Like it's a Windows 10 enabled PC, only without the Windows 10, because fuck that shit. Like, unless you have an actual tablet, there's no reason to have Windows 10. Like, you either have to have a touchscreen or it has to be a tablet for Windows 10 to be worth a fuck. But I know of so many fucking companies and so many different, like, places where they're like, oh yeah, no, all of our stuff is Windows 10 enabled. And it's like, why? Like, literally, why? Everything else was fucking fine the way it was before. And now all of a sudden, well, we gotta have the Windows 10. No, the fuck you don't. You ain't gotta have shit. You're a business. To be fair, you can still run that shit off fucking Windows XP. Yes, your systems are gonna run a little bit slower and it's gonna be harder to stay on the fucking cutting edge of technology, but for fuck's sakes, for a computer to actually work, you need an operating system that works for the fucking computer that you're using. And to be fair, you guys want to be on the cutting edge of technology, because that's the shit that I fucking deal with at half the companies I've worked for, but they're still using fucking computer towers that they went out of their way to fucking buy in like 2003, and all they're doing is just swapping out a couple components here and fucking there, but all of the, like 80% of the internals are still shit from goddamn Windows XP terminals. They've just updated the software a couple times. They've only really like changed out the hardware here and there as need be. Like, literally over the weekend, my fiance and I ended up watching that that documentary on Netflix, like The Last Blockbuster, where they go over the fact that, like, the last sole surviving living blockbuster is still alive and thriving and kicking in fucking Oregon. And because she went to go lay down and take a nap, and I was just looking for something to watch, and I was like, you know what? This seems kind of cool. They've got all these, like, fucking celebrities in there, you know, giving their fucking 2 cents about how they worked at a fucking Blockbuster before they got big, or they worked at XYZ fucking video store, and, you know, they're sharing their experiences. And, alright, let me peep this shit. Let me see what the fuck is going on. And she comes out and starts watching it with me, and I'm like, alright, well, whatever. But, literally, at one point in time, they go... Like, they show the chick who's the manager of the store as she's swapping out components from the old computers to go into the new computers, and she's literally pulling out fucking dust bunnies like the size of my cat. And mind you, my cat isn't like a small kitten, like it's a full-grown fucking cat. Like, will sit in my lap and take up more than my entire lap. And I'm a fat fuck with a wide lap to sit on. And, like, she's pulling out giant fucking dust bunnies and, like, dumping them off computer components and being like, yeah, we're gonna use this from this one and put it into here, and then we gotta get out the floppy disk. And it's funny, because most of, like, the kids that actually come into the store since they're teenagers, when I go, we gotta get the floppy disk, they're like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, ha ha ha, making fun of the younger generation because we're all old. Let's jerk off to that, because... that's what you do. You make fun of how fucking stupid shit like that is. But, again, it's still one of those things where, like, this bitch had dust bunnies the size of my fucking cat, and she's, like, dumping them back into the computer. And I'm like, no, bitch! That's why your shit is fucked up! I know those are old, busted terminals that you're literally pulling pieces out of to Frankenstein your point-of-sales machine in order to make it a working POS. That's the reason why a point-of-sale is referred to as a piece of shit POS. But, for fuck's sakes, lady, if you took the fucking dust out of the old systems, even though the terminals are just sitting in the fucking back office collecting dust, literally, if you clean those out every now and a fucking again when there's nothing going on... Like, when you Frankenstein a machine, it'll last 20 times longer. Dust is the enemy of fucking computers, god damn it. And my fiance, as I'm going off on that tirade, she's like, just calm down. I'm like, I can't calm down. You're literally triggering some PTSD shit up in me because I've killed my tower that I've had since college, which was back in like 2004, 5 fucking times because I still have it and the motherfucker still works. We've had to replace hard drives, we've had to replace power supplies, I've updated the graphics card a couple of times, but it's still one of those things where we've kept that motherfucker running, like me and our disembodied voice, and what got to it every single time is I just kind of left it on and let it run and forgot to, you know, turn it off and clean the dust out of it. Like, there was literally 2 times where my hard drive was fucked up because this is back in the day before solid states, I left all the dirt and dust inside of it, the fan got junked up from all the dirt and dust and the fact that I was a smoker, and it fucked everything up so bad that it overheated the hard drive and caused it to frag itself and fry itself early. No games for the PS3. I'm now making a list of games. Anime related, JRPG, stuff like that. Total 50 games. No, I can believe that. I'm pretty sure if I were to actually total up all of my games, like the actual ones that I have, because to be fair, before I'd moved, times were tight enough where I literally had to sell a bunch of my shit, which was not fucking cool. But part of the shit that I ended up selling in terms of my game, well, it ended up being my games, rather, if I could fucking talk. Luckily, this boss fight ain't shit. But no, like, because part of it was games, like, I lost a good portion of my collection. Now, to be fair, part of it was also stuff that I knew I didn't give a fuck about. Like, stuff that I wasn't gonna go back to play, like 360 games that I just bought simply for the fact of, to say that I own it. You know what I mean? Like how some people do with, like, a classic NES or Super NES type of a library. Oh, don't you fucking dare. Because sometimes that resets the entire fucking fight! No the fuck you don't. No the fuck you don't. No the fuck you don't. Get the fuck back here. Fuck back here! Fuck me. That resets the entire fucking fight. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Because sometimes it'll do that and it'll give him his whole fucking health bar back. Where you at, motherfucker? Oh, actually, real quick, while I'm thinking about that. L1 and triangle. There we are. Stop. Thank you. Stop. Thank you. Ow! Bitch! I said no the fuck. You do... Anyway. My father's like, get some Call of Duty. Call of Duty could die in a ditch. No, you're not wrong. When it comes to first-person shooters, I will admit, I am not the best at them. But, like, Call of Duty has still never been one of those first-person shooters that's been at the top of my fucking list. Like, usually, if I'm going for a first-person shooter, I'll go for something like Halo. Come on. Just need that one. Just need that one. There. But no, I'll go for stuff like Halo, or... Ooh. Meh. Meh. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't there a... Fuck. Damn it, I know there's a thing that's over there. Hold on. Where the fuck is my map? Level 15, huh? The damage isn't as good, but it gives me a fire attack. Okay, so it gives me fire damage as opposed to the lightning damage. It gives me better critical, but not as much critical strength. Well, but this one's also been upgraded. Is there a way... Nope. Can't upgrade that at all. Piss. Okay. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah, I forgot I got one of these things. There was one of these. I was looking for health. Yes, you. Restore health per hit. Oh, son of a bitch! I lost the entire fucking purpose here. Because there's a thing over here, and I know there's a way... Oh, son of a bitch. I know there's a way to get over to that. Is it... Nope. I don't believe it's anything over that way. Yeah, it might be something I have to do later, but yeah, I remember there's an item that's over that way. I'll have to come back for it later. Fuck it. But anyway, no, when it comes to like first-person shooters, like I know I suck at them, but generally speaking, it's still one of those things where I've never been like a Call of Duty fan. Like I'll usually go for Halo or something else along those lines, like something that ends up being what's the word I'm looking for? More fun than Call of Duty. Usually like CS:GO or something along those lines, but I don't know. Either way, completely beside the point. But no, like I went through and like I said, I got rid of a bunch of my games a while back, and I'm pretty sure if I tallied it out, I would realize that there was like 2 or 3 of them that I've bought a couple of times, especially recently. Because the other day they were having like a flash sale on the Switch, and I ended up getting, oh god, which one was it? I got it, Tales of, damn it, which fucking one was it? I think it was, yeah, it was Vesperia. I got Tales of Vesperia, the other day, which I've already bought, played, and beat before, but I got it again just because, one, it's on the fucking Switch, so if I actually took my Switch places, it'd be there with me on the fucking go. But then at the same time, the other reason for it as well was just simply because they had, like, it was pretty much like the definitive edition, so it had all the DLC and all that shit already included with it. God fucking damn it, I hate that car. Sorry, one of my neighbors has like a blue light that they have on the top of their car, like they work for like a taxi cab company or something in the area, and every time they come home, if I happen to be looking out the door, I see their car pull up, and I'm like, is that the fucking cops? What the fuck are the cops doing here? Nobody's doing anything stupid, I don't think. But yeah, it always just bugs the shit out of me, because I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know, either way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd have like a fuck ton of games. Especially since I kind of went a little crazy and I've been buying a bunch of games digitally for my Switch lately. But I could believe that. I think the only Ratchet and Clank game that I end up having is the one that they ended up giving for free with the PlayStation Plus. I think it was... What was it? It was like 2 or 3 months ago? Something like that? Because I know that they're supposed to be doing it again. Or maybe they just had that on sale. Like, I know it was something. It was either the game was on sale, or there was a something, but I remember I got the game for pretty dirt fucking cheap, if not free. Because I beat the shit out of it. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. Like, the first Final Fantasy 13, it was okay. I'm not gonna say it was the greatest, but it was okay. And then I got hyped, and I got the fucking second one. Whew, boy. Yeah. Like, so much goodness with that game. Fast travel's currently unavailable. Fucking why? Not in a dungeon. I don't believe. Oh, I suppose if I have my horse out, then I can fast travel, but I can't call my horse. So I guess I am in a fucking dungeon. But yeah, the second game was just blah. Like, infinite blah. Like, it was so blah that I think I played maybe halfway through the game, turned it off, turned something else on, and never went the fuck back to it. Like, never. Like, literally, absolutely fucking never. I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this. And since I was fucking done with it... Oh, wait a minute. No, that's right. I needed to actually leave this place because I had to go to the one area to get the other guy. Oh, and I guess I already did do this then, didn't I? Come down in here. Nope, I didn't. Okay. See, I knew every fucking time you go in the water. It's one of those stupid fucking things for that stupid fucking guy. Fuck was I saying? I don't know, that's pretty much about as interested as I was in that fucking game. It's just like, eh, it's here. Alright, I'm done with that. And like I said, I got fairly far into both the first and the second. And then they were like, Part 3 coming soon! And I was like, good for you. Because it ain't coming out for me. Like, for me, I'm gonna turn on something the fuck else. Okay, to be fair, Final Fantasy is one of those things where it depends not only on your mood, but your play style. Me personally, I am more a fan of the tactics games. And the reason I'm a fan of the tactics games is because I'm a fan of chess. I like playing chess. So for me, Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced and Advanced 2, those are games that I like. Those are games that I like to play. In fact, technically speaking, on the side, while I was on my lunch breaks at work, I would come out here, I'd make my sandwich, I would sit in the living room, and I would see what my girl was up to, and if there was anything crazy going on, and like shit like that, just kind of see what the happy haps was. And then I would turn on my fucking 3DS, and I would play Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2 while I ate my lunch. Whether it was like a bag of popcorn or fucking PB&J, whatever the fuck it was I was making for lunch that day, I would eat me my fucking lunch and I would play me my fucking game. Simple as that. So, and to be fair, Tactics Advanced for the Game Boy Advanced, like, that's still a game where anytime I go through an old computer or like an old set of floppy disks or CD-ROMs or anything else of the sort, it never fails. Like, if I'm going through old shit and I have access to it and I check it, I always had a copy of the Game Boy Advanced emulator and Tactics Advanced. It, like, everywhere. Anywhere I had a chance to, like, keep media. Like, I've even found it when, like, backing up old porn. Like, not a joke. Like, I had a couple of fucking flash drives that had, like, a bunch of old porn on it. Like, shit that took me, like, ages to find and I knew I'd never be able to fucking find again type of shit. Or at least stuff that you think you're never going to be able to find again. To be fair, there's like 2 or 3 videos that, you know, every time I find it, I'm like, oh, thank God I found it. I'm never going to fucking find it again. You know, if something happens and my hard drive gets erased or, you know, my computer takes a shit, I'm never going to be able to find it again. Not no way, not no how. And then, sure enough, something stupid happens, and the computer gets all fucked up, and then I'm like, oh, well, fuck. And then I end up finding it again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, it's gone, I'm never gonna... Oh, wait, there it is. You know what I mean? So... Alright, hold on. I need to zoom the fuck out up in this bitch. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then... Alright, that's up there. That's up there. Sorry. Again, I'm just trying to figure out... Okay, kill Gorewood. This is where I need the fuck to be. Okay, good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Okay. But like I said, Final Fantasies, again, it depends on your playstyle. Like I said, for me, I'm a fan of the tactics games, so I like playing those. But I'm also a fan of the old turn-style games. So I mean, like, original Final Fantasy, where it's essentially Dungeons and Dragons. I have my move speed, they have their move speed. Okay, their move speed is a little bit ahead of me, so they get to attack first. Okay, now that the enemy has attacked me, now it's my turn, now I get to attack them. You know what I mean? Like, the actual turn-based strategy games. And most of that comes down to a matter of... Like, one of the first RPGs that I actively remember playing was Super Mario RPG, because my stepmother worked at the Hollywood Video in town, speaking of old video stores, and we would get a chance to go rent a game on the weekend for free because it would be underneath of her account, and as the manager, she could just check out whatever the fuck she wants whenever the fuck she wants to get it. So we would rent it, and then we would play for like a few minutes, because it was always, you know, since it's a rented copy, it's always somebody had a fucking save file, and you know, you didn't want to be the dick who, you know, erased some random kid's save file. So you would try to continue what it is that they were doing without saving. They were always so far into the game that didn't know what the fuck to do. So, like, it kind of turned me off from turn-based strategies. It wasn't until later on, after meeting Bill and the guys, where we started playing, like, Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy VI. And Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy 1, and then there were ROMs that we were playing on, because, you know, we had the emulators at the time, because fucking it's the 2000s, and everybody's on fucking LimeWire, and downloading herpes on their computer, so nobody gave a fuck. So we'd play, like, 2 and 3, and 5, and, like, all the old turn-based games, and they were fucking outstanding and fun for quite a few of them. Most of them I'm not going to give such high praise like that to, but like 6, which most people know was 3 on the Super Nintendo, hands down one of my fucking favorites. And it's just because it's one of the few times where you can learn every fucking spell ever. But then as you start getting into the 3D ones, like, that's where other things start coming into play. So you start getting stuff like, are you okay, game? Did you just like have an aneurysm there, buddy? I think he had an aneurysm. I'm gonna give him a quick minute. But no, then you start getting into the shit like, you know, oh, where did it stop? Because you get 10 and 10-2, which I believe were the last of the turn-based games. And then, because Kingdom Hearts came the fuck out, all of a sudden everything had to be motherfucking Kingdom Hearts. So, because everything else had to become fucking Kingdom Hearts, you start getting where it's either the action adventure, like 13, all 6 variants of fucking 13, or... There we go. Or it turns into the handheld games, where the handheld games go back to, well, handheld and or cell phone games, to be fair. But those actually turned back into the old style, where it was, okay, it's your turn. Alright, now it's my turn. Okay, now it's your turn. Okay, now it's my turn. So, like I said, it depends on what era you're in for Final Fantasy, like, how you feel about actual turn-based games, you know. But I don't know, like I said, like, Final Fantasy as a series, I'm okay with a handful of the games, but a lot of it, no offense, I could kind of give two shits, and I know that sounds bad, but I'm just, like, the reason why it was originally called Final Fantasy is because Squaresoft had one fucking chance, literally one fucking chance. If they couldn't pull off a kick-ass fucking game with Final Fantasy on the NES, it was literally going to be the end of their fucking company. And they fucking pulled out all the stops, they came through, and they made a damn good game. So then all of a sudden, okay, well now we have Final Fantasy, what else do we do? Oh, well, we've got Final Fantasy 2, okay. And now we have Final Fantasy 3, okay. Then we have Final Fantasy 4, alright. And then now we have Final Fantasy 5, it's 6, it's 7, and 12, and 107. I'm sorry, question in the back? Yes, sir, what's your question? Isn't this game called Final Fantasy? Yes, it is. The series is called Final Fantasy. So, how is it final when we're on, like, 12 and 15? And that's just the main numbers. We're on 15 for just the main numbers. Looks like soon to be 16 on just the main fucking numbers. Before you guys literally, not a joke, had to turn around and basically create like a spin-off series of games. Just because even the normal, like, hardcore fans were getting tired of the sameness of the games. Well, sir, I'm glad you asked that. So are you going to give me a response? Or, well, sir, I already did. I said I'm glad you asked that question. But that's not an answer. We know. We know that's not an answer. We don't answer fucking questions like that. Why? Because we're fucking Square Enix. And we will milk you dry. You will give us all your money. And you will happily fucking hand it over. Give us a big fucking shit-eating grin smile and say, thank you, sir. Is there anything else I could fucking do for you? And literally so many people out there, because they love the old Final Fantasy. There are lots of people out there who like the old style. They've gone out of their way to start making newer variants of the old style and calling it something the fuck else. Like, oh, what's that game? Just came out with the second version. Oh yeah, Bravely Default. It's a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy. It's not a fucking spiritual successor to Final Fantasy. It is motherfucking Final Fantasy. It is fucking Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 4 and so on and so forth all the way up through until like Final Fantasy 7 when it started becoming like polygon characters and Final Fantasy 9 and all that other shit. And the reason for that is because it eventually became an action RPG game and they didn't like it. They literally turned into Mr. Horse from fucking Ren and Stimpy and they said, no sir, I don't like it. And I understand that. Everybody has their own personal opinions. Sometimes your personal opinion is wrong, but I get it. Because then they took a decent idea for a game and literally boiled it down to the most, I guess the best way for me to put this without sounding like a complete and total jackass, but they literally boiled it down to like the most FAP material ideas for the game. Because you literally, what is it? You have 4 heroes like every Final Fantasy game. And the 4 heroes are warriors destined to save the universe. Oh shit, let me dust off my fucking shocked face. And there's a great evil that is spreading over the land. Oh fuck! We're on Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 already. Well, no, to be fair, not so much 6, because 6 actually had a main cast of like 800 people. Well, to be fair, it wasn't 800, but it seemed like that, because you had... Well, and then of course you could always miss Umaru and Mog completely, but if you get them, then you... And each one had their own mechanics. I believe it to have been 12 characters for Final Fantasy VI. To be fair, I haven't played 5. Like, I've seen people play it, but I haven't played it myself, so I don't remember. And to be fair, even though there is a large cast and crew when it comes down to Final Fantasy IV, it's still the same formula. You're allowed like 4 people on the team, which is actually a lie. You're actually allowed 5 people on the team, but still, like, it's kind of the same principle, which is the only reason why it is that I give a cop-out to 6 as well, is because, again, you're only allowed 4 people at a time in the party. So... You know what I mean? But, oh hey, look, and now you have to get a crystal of water, and a crystal of fire, and a crystal of water, and a crystal... Oh shit! Oh god! I'm gonna fucking come! You've remade Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there. Oh shit, we gotta get the 4 crystal gems. Oh Jesus, let me jerk off. But wait, there's more. Oh god, there's more? What kind of more could there be? Well, you see, on top of having 4 main characters, one of them is a princess, one of them is a stuck-up asshole, the other one is a fucking commoner who's just ready to go out there and beat the shit out of some people. And then the last one is kind of the wild card. Like, you don't really know too much about him because he's kind of like the Piccolo Vegeta hard-ass kind of fucking character, but not to be confused with the main character who's a Piccolo Vegeta hard-ass kind of a fucking character. This guy's more of like the lone wolf, and he's really only here because he needs your help to go fucking complete the quest, to do the thing, because he knows he can't do it by himself, because there's too goddamn many of them motherfuckers, but any chance he can, he's gonna break off, and oh my god, my dick can only get so hard from these characters now. So, now that all of that has been taken care of in terms of let's meet the supporting cast of characters. Wasn't there one of you idiots that I could turn in as well? Gorewood, no. Dispose King, no. No. That's the main quest. Hold on, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I know where the fuck I'm going. Okay, cool, then I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna fucking sell some shit, restock, and then I'm gonna go try to find the Crucible. Oh, I can actually fast travel to it, thank Jesus. Okay, so I'll do that here in a minute. But yeah, you get all of that, and then, there's an airship! That's piloted and owned and maintained by an old man. Oh god. Is his name Sid? Because if his name is Sid, I'm gonna fucking lose it. So... like I said, like, I just ragged on those games, and again, they are good games. I'm not saying that they're shit. I'm not saying that they're not worth your fucking time. But again, after you've sat down and played Final Fantasy 13 for the 12th goddamn iteration of Final Fantasy 13, you kinda don't give a fuck anymore. Like, the fact that they literally turned Final Fantasy 15 into a 4-part story. To get the first part of the story, you play the video game. To get the second part of the story, you have to play a cell phone game. Not a joke, you have to play a cell phone game. Then, after you've played the fucking cell phone game, and only then, can you turn around and watch the movie. Yes, you have to watch a movie. And then after doing all of that, which, by the way, there's also technically the demo that you're supposed to do first. So technically speaking, I'm a liar, butt on fire. Because first you have to play the demo, then you play the main game, then after you've done the demo and played the main game, then you could go ahead and turn your ass around and play the cell phone game. Then after you've gone ahead and played the cell phone game, then you could turn your happy ass around and watch the fucking movie. Then after you've watched the movie and all that, then you could go back and play the other part of the fucking game to get the other part of the fucking story. And that shit started with Final Fantasy 13. Why? Because Final Fantasy fucking, I believe it to be 12, was the first MMORPG. And it sucked so bad that it almost killed the Final Fantasy series. Or maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe it was 11 was the first MMORPG, and then 12, it was basically like playing an MMORPG, because I know it was one of the two games. One of them, you played it like it was an MMO, but you were playing it single player by your fucking self. So even though it had like the key binding system like it was an MMO, where you literally had to, like, if you were playing an MMO on a controller, obviously, you would have to, like, hold down L1, and that gives you your first hotbar of options, and then if you hold down R1, it'll fucking switch it over to the next 4 sets of options you could do for your special moves. In the meantime, make sure that you're fucking moving and jumping and doing the thing. By the way, we're gonna make it seem like, since it's an MMO, there's gonna be a whole cast of characters, but there's fucking really not. And then came Final Fantasy 14. And the original 14 came out as a demo. And it was okay. Then they took the original demo portion of it, because people were like, okay, this isn't bad, it's an MMO, but, you know, it's at least better than the last MMO. And then they said, okay, cool. Get in the game, pay us money like it's fucking World of Warcraft. And we're like, okay, well, I mean, it is a fucking MMO, I guess. We'll go with the MMO system, where I'm going to pay you a fuck ton of money for a bunch of shit that nobody actually gives a fuck about, like cosmetics, because that's the way an MMO works, and that's how we support the game, by keeping the servers open. They're like, no, this isn't for, like, just cosmetic shit. You actually have to pay a subscription fee in order to play on the server, so we can make sure that the servers stay the fuck open. So literally like fucking World of Warcraft. Yeah, literally like okay, so basically I now have to pay the subscription fee like I'm playing World of Warcraft, which is a better MMO, just so that way then I can play the game on your servers and you guys will actually update the servers. Yep. But I mean, if you wanted to, you could also just, you know, go ahead and here's... Like, after you've paid us the money to play the game, because obviously we're not going to let you play the game without the fake paywall, so that way then our servers could stay open. But, because really that's what the fake fucking paywall is for. Like, Bill brings it up all the time, and while I agree with him, he's absolutely right. It's absolutely fucking stupid for all of these fucking video game companies to go, hey, you already have access to the internet, right? Yeah. So you could download all these games and shit and just pay me directly, and then we can cut out the middleman like Walmart and Target and that, right? Yep. Okay, cool. We'll let you do that. By the way, on top of that, you need to pay me $60 every fucking year, so that way then you can actually play the games online and download the games online using the internet that you're already paying for because I fucking said so. Now, if they were to come forward and say, look, we would like you guys, you don't have to, but we would like you guys to go ahead and pay, X amount of money, like, give us like $10, $12, like, almost like the Nintendo plan. Like, the reason why it is I'm okay with the Nintendo plan, where it's literally for the family plan for myself and my girlfriend to be able to, well, fiance, but you know what I meant. But for us to get online and play games online with our friends and do shit, like she plays Animal Crossing, which requires online for a lot of the stuff for the Animal Crossing shit, like being able to go and visit other people's islands and shit like that. For me, I like to play like the Mario 35, which is like their Tetris thing, only with Mario instead of Tetris. And the fact that it gives me access to their virtual console, which is essentially a fucking free emulator that they give you. Only it's legal because Nintendo are the ones actually giving you the emulator. Anyway. But all that bullshit the fuck aside, like, I like Nintendo's better. They're like, look, you have two people, $30 a fucking like $30 for the entire fucking year. Thank you, just give us the money. All it does is it helps us to make sure that our servers continue to function properly, so that way then we can not only give you the ability to buy games and play them online, like buy the games from the online store rather and download them to your system, so when you don't have to worry about going and buying a cartridge that's going to get fucking lost when, your kid is running around the house with the fucking case that's half opened and you have 6 fucking games sitting inside of it because you were a dumbass and didn't close the case, and now all of a sudden the fucking cartridges are all over the fucking floor because the games are essentially on fucking mini USB discs. Or not USB, yeah. No, they're on the micro USB, but either way, you know what the fuck I meant. But you could do that, or you could just buy the shit fucking digitally and just swap it out, because as long as we see that, yeah, you've bought the game and that the license is set there, okay, you're good to go. Is that really going to be helpful in 15 fucking years when they've shut down the servers? No. But for right now, I just want to play my games, I want to be able to do my shit, and if it's a game that I actually give enough of a fuck about, I'll go buy the actual fucking game, like an actual physical copy of the game. Sure. But for right now, I'm just playing it. I want to see what's what. If I like the game, I'll go buy physical. So I'm double dipping, but that'll be later on down the road when literally you guys have a fucking Switch 3.0 that's out. And the original Switch is something that was simply an afterthought at this point, because that was back in the late 20-teens, and now we're in the year like 2050, and you're on like the Nintendo whatever the fuck, which I hope to God that's what they name it. That's gonna be the Nintendo system, like 3 or 4 system generations from now is the Nintendo whatever the fuck, because that's how bad they are at naming now. I mean, fuck, if you look at Microsoft hasn't had an original idea since the Xbox. Because if you had the Xbox, and then the 360, and now you had the Xbox One, and then the Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One XX, and then the Xbox 360 One X. So, I mean, it's... And then the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, Vita, 4, Go, like... These companies are terrible at fucking naming shit anymore. So, if they called it the Nintendo whatever the fuck, I'm pretty sure it would fly off the fucking shelves. But that's another story for another time.
Let me explain the more creatures you defeat, be offered a...
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
If not, you may... But if at any time you fall... Oh, and one last thing. No... Do you wish to enter?
I remember this now.
A brave decision.
Basically, it's a fucking boss rush. Kill as many dumb motherfuckers as you can get your hands on. And if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. But every now and again, they'll say, "Hey man, you did pretty good. You want some items for you to fuck off?" And you go, "Yep." Nice. You know, like I said, I kind of wish I didn't have to sell a lot of my collection a long time ago, but again, a lot of it was games that I kind of either didn't give a fuck about, or I was like, look, I need the fucking money. Which is irritating as all fuck, because I had to get rid of a lot of shit that I actually liked. Now, to be fair, I believe, like, what I ended up doing originally, since I needed the cash and I just got rid of some shit, was I think I went through it first, and then after I went through everything, that's when it is that I decided, okay, like, this game is something I don't care about playing ever again. You know, it's definitely on the leave pile. On the it can leave pile. Excuse me. Dinner's coming back to kick my ass. And then there was other stuff where I would look at it and be like, nope, I'm gonna want to play that game again. So it's on the hold on to it pile. So it's not like I got rid of fucking everything, but I did get rid of a good chunk of my stuff. No, the fuck you don't! You, my little retarded friend, are irritating me. There. Fucking big bully bitch. Goody, two of the moron twins. Nope. Homie ain't playing that game. Damn. Alright, well, whatever. Because, yeah, it does save you before you go. Alright. Alright, any but. I figured out what the fuck that was again, so we're good to go. Do I have to step off and then I can... Yeah, okay. That's fucking stupid. Am I being too loud? Okay, well, there's still a slice of cake left if you want something sweet. Trying to think what else we have. There's that piece of cake. There's cereal. Oh, hey, look, it warped me right to the Tree of Life. Good, I didn't have to go through all the other bullshit. Too bad I needed to go through all the other bullshit! God damn it, game. No, you can have it.
What do you seek, Pale Rider?
The return of mankind.
To a barren planet shorn of life. Oh, humans are weak and simple. They would not survive this resurrection, nor do they deserve it.
That is not ours to judge. I do this to spare war from the Council's punishment.
And what of the Nephilim? Would you save but one and not the rest?
The Nephilim are a threat to the balance.
If we had taken Eden, none of this would have happened. Yet you rode against us, slaughtered our flesh, then bound our souls in your amulet.
Who are you?
I think you know. Once, you called me brother.
Absalom.
I have forsaken that name. Now, I am corruption. The day you raised your scythe against us, I was born, and soon I will be all. The tree of life has fallen to my darkness, from withered root to fruitless limb, and even death himself will not escape it.
Okay, that's cool. Can I, like, fuck off for, like, 2 minutes? Because the game kind of butt-fucked me.
What defines a soul? Some call it the spark within that fights the darkness, that burns for life itself. But what of death, who became the Reaper on the day he slaughtered the Nephilim? He killed his brother, his comrades, and Absalom.
Death! Why do you slay your own?
The Nephilim have no claim to Eden.
There are realms for angels and demons. Why not for us?
Eden belongs to man.
It belongs to those who take it!
The eons have not answered the question. Was it worth it?
Brother.
That one moment begot corruption and crowned him kinslayer. The bitter victory.
Sorry, I forgot about this part of the story.
Ah, the Pale Rider. Isn't it odd that so many have come here by your hand? And yet you so rarely visit the Dead Kingdom.
I had no plan to visit this wretched place. I sought the Tree of Life, I found it. Now I'm here.
The tree is no destination, my friend. Only a portal to other worlds. If the tree
That I have been betrayed.
not
I doubt
Alright,
it.
kinda don't care right now.
you would be.
I would redeem my brother.
Yeah.
Guard your tongue.
'Cause I can't remember if that's something that you deal with war in the first game, or if that's something that you deal with here.
We're right to seek the tree.
Well,
But you
so
do end up talking with your mother, Lilith.
It is also how souls are brought.
You still haven't
The history forgotten. Now we were not the
way of thinking.
and what the nothingness. Eventually,
So it would seem. None of this explains.
I am Ostagoth, and it would amuse me to offer you
Tree of Life. I know none of. Why?
if the
I forsook.
forsake. But what do I know?
What if I wish to return?
The Tree of Life has many portals, Rider. Many portals are closed. Please, please.
Yeah, I could trade. I mean, your shit ain't that bad. Ain't that good, but it ain't that bad. You ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. Actually, that pauldron ain't half bad, to be fair. Can I afford it? Yes. Okay, well, give me just a minute. Let me see if you got anything else. Defense drops, strength drops, and resistance drops, but I gain thorns. No, I think I'm gonna go with that fucking pauldron. What else do you have? Fuck tons of nothing there. Boop, 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 boop. Nothing. Pretty much nothing, because I'm already wearing the exact same shit.
I want you to pretend that I believe.
You must hear the Lord.
Yeah, I need to go do a whole bunch of other shit. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you very fucking much. Now, let me equip my shit here, old man. Wah. Oh yeah, and I have one more skill point. Give me more health per hit. Because that's really the big thing I'm looking for. Okay. There we go. Yeah, DOA 5 isn't a bad little game. The only problem that I've noticed with it, it just simply comes down to a matter of, even though it's a quote free game, they like nickel and dime you with, hey, here's costumes, hey, here's this, hey, here's that, hey, here's, you know what I mean? So I mean, while it's cool, it's still one of those things where if you're not careful, they will end up taking all of your fucking money. Right. Yeah, they nickel and dime you for like skins and like essentially it's like, hey, here's this costume, hey, here's that costume, hey, here's this, hey, here's that. Like, very rarely does it actually add to the gameplay or anything, but there have been a couple of times where they're like, hey, new fucking character, like it's Smash Brothers. They're like, new fucking character. Come get your new fucking character, or else. You're like, or else what? You know what I mean? So it's like, one of those catch-22 type of situations where it's like, well, I mean, I could live without it, but, and generally speaking, especially with like the costumes, they're not really that important, but sometimes the costumes do actually add to the game. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to look at it in a case-by-case basis, but at the same time, they also offer a it's like a fair enough. Wait a minute. Oh, son of a bitch, I've got to go kill those guys, but they're in there. Oh, damn. Alright, well, what the fuck ever. Thought there was a fucking thing. Oh, well. Right. No, and I get that they're shutting down, and I understand that, but like I said, sometimes on top of, like, the costumes, you get characters and levels and other shit like that. Like, they did a cross-promotion with Attack on Titan. So, if you don't have access to the store to download the patch for the game, you don't get the Attack on Titan level, you don't get the Attack on Titan costumes, you don't get any of it. You get base game, deal with it. And to be fair, 80% of base game is you need to be able to fight people online in order to up your shit. Because really that's pretty much what 80% of the game modes are, is, hey, you're going to be fighting other people. But the people that you're going to be fighting, it's going to be done online. So, I hope you're ready. And you're like, well, I'm not, but fuck it, let's do this shit. So, okay, find and kill. First of all, zoom out. Who is over there? Okay, and then the king, who's down there, which I figured. Gorewood, who's back. Oh yeah, that's right, he's back that way. I need to get the fucking portal ability first. Find the lost stones, I'm not worried about it. Find all the Necronomicon shit. Lost relics. That might be... poop. Something tells me I've got shit that I need to turn in on that, don't I? Oh, no, I guess not. I never found any of them. 10 pages. How many do I have? I've got 5 of them. Ooh, woo. Helpful. Um, 80% of them are butt fucked. And that's not even me pulling like a random number out of thin air. Like, literally 75 to 80% of all video games since the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era are fucked. Think about it this way. I know a guy who loved Assassin's Creed so much that the game came out and he beat Assassin's Creed Black Flag day one, and they didn't have a day one patch to make the game actually playable until 2 weeks out. You literally bought Black Flag, and sometimes there would be ropes, and you would go to use those ropes to tight walk, and it was gone. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag is a guarantee. Literally anything Bandai Namco, so like the, god damn it, like the Gundam games, or any of the Dynasty Warrior games, you're not going to be able to fucking play them, period, end of sentence, because they have to be able to connect to the internet through the store in order to allow you to play the game. In fact, most of the Dragon Ball Z games, you're never going to be able to fucking play, period. Because as soon as you go to log in, because a lot of them have, hey, you could create your own fucking character. No, the fuck you can't. Because since you're creating characters, because they knew motherfuckers would do this, there are streamers out there. And especially certain, yeah, most of the Dynasty Warrior games are. Like Dynasty Warriors Gundam. There is a One Piece game that plays like Dynasty Warriors. You're not going to be able to do it. I don't believe the Tales games are going to be fucked. But at the same time, the last Tales game that I ended up playing, yeah, Xenoverse is the exact fucking reason. You know why? They went out of their way to get Takahata 101 of Team 4-Star fame. And they know Team 4-Star was streaming and making t-shirts based off the video game characters that they were streaming because they were playing games so they can make their own characters. Like, they had a, god damn it, a Fallout 4 stream. Well, not so much stream, but there was like a Let's Play of Fallout 4 that they were playing, where they made a character named Richard Dick Ravager III. And the series went on and 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 on. And just like a couple other games that are going to get butt fucked by this as well, the Dark Souls games, so any of the Souls games, like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, which I don't believe 1 or 2 you could actually play on the PS3, but then again, I don't really play the Souls games because I'm not ashamed to admit I fucking suck at those games. But they knew for a fact that they were gonna fucking make t-shirts of it. And they knew that there were other fucking streamers that were out there who were going to make t-shirts out of the fucking characters that they created using the Create a Character system that was devised for those games. And yep, you're never going to be able to play them. Why? Because when you log in, you have to sign an end-user agreement stating any character that I make in this game where I could create a character using the predetermined bullshit that you give me. So even shit like Soul Calibur, where you could create a character using the bullshit create a character stuff that they give you. Like, yeah, they make you sign an end-user agreement that says, if you make the character, because it's done with our engine and our system, that shit legally belongs to us. You're not allowed to make up your own side story. You're not allowed to make up your own anything. That shit belongs to us, and you will sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up because we own your ass. And if you don't hit that button to sign that end-user agreement, guess what? You're not going to be able to play it. I can't remember which Soul Caliburs came out on the PS3. I believe it was 4 and 5. I know for a fact 5 was on the list, because Bill's unabridged review of Soul Calibur 5 is one of the greatest things ever, where he literally looks at the fucking game box, it goes back to his face. He looks at the game box, it goes back to his face. He looks back at the game box, it goes back to his face. And then it goes to a wide angle where he goes, "This game fucking sucks!" and throws it on the ground. But I believe those games you can play. But again, I have never played them. Literally, the only PlayStation console that I bought was a PS4, which is what I'm playing on right now. Everything else was done either watching others or playing the games with others, like going over to Bill's place and playing Soul Calibur and shit like that on his fucking TV. So, like I said, you kind of have to take some of this with a grain of salt, but each game is going to come with its own level of bullshit. So, again, when it comes down to it, I can guarantee that Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you're not going to be able to play it because there was a fucking patch that came out. Because sometimes you would go to do like a tightrope walk, and the rope would just disappear, and you would fall flat on your face and get caught. Or you would go to get in a pirate ship, and the pirate ship would tell you to go fuck yourself. Like, it would just boot you out of the pirate ship in the middle of fucking being out. It would just disappear, and you wouldn't be in the pirate ship anymore. And then next thing you know, you were being ran over by your own fucking pirate ship. You know what I mean? Like, there was... like I said, there's all the Bandai games that basically make you sign an end-user agreement that states, hey, just because you bought this fucking game doesn't mean that you have the right to anything in this fucking game, because we made it, so we own it. Like, that's not even a fucking joke or hyperbole or anything. They make characters that you make inside of it are ours. Sign this consent form by saying that you read it and that you agree to it. And if you don't fucking do it, then guess what? You don't get to play our fucking game. Like, that's not hyperbole, that's not a joke. There's a few other games that did shit like that too. A lot of it, again, all has to deal with fucking day one patches. Where if you don't get the fucking day one patch, the game is quite literally unfucking playable. And because the fucking stores are going away, that means your day one patches are going away too. So most of those games are highly unplayable. And I don't mean in terms of like you just simply can't play it, period, end of story. I mean, you're gonna go to fucking play the game, and next thing you know, there's gonna be like glitches. Yeah. Figure out anything that required a fucking day one patch, because, sorry buddy, you're never playing that game, period, even if you fucking wanted to. Like I said, there's a lot of games that I have on my fucking 360 that, because they're getting rid of, well, not currently, but I know they're going to get rid of the fucking, the 360 marketplace if they haven't already. But because they're gonna get rid of that shit, I'm never gonna be able to play half the games that I fucking own. Again, man, like I said, it's PlayStation 3. It's fucking PlayStation 4. It's the Xbox 360. It's the Xbox One. It's the Xbox One X. It's the PlayStation 5. It's gonna be the fucking Nintendo, too. Fucking the Wii is it's gonna happen to the Wii. In fact, it's already happening with the 3DS. Because the 3DS and the Wii, in fact, the Switch actually even shares part of the same servers when it comes down to their, quote, store, like the online store. It's literally going to come down to a point where half of the shit that I own digitally, I'm never going to be able to fuck with again. Like, never the fuck again. The only way I'm going to be able to is because, again, when it came down to the Nintendo eShop, 80% of the shit that was on the eShop, in terms of, like, the older games at the least, there's a reason why Nintendo was so anti-emulator. It's because Nintendo wanted to take those emulators and put them into their systems because the fans already did the fucking work for them. And they put them inside of their own fucking systems, so that way then you could play like the old Nintendo and that type of shit, and not have to worry about, well, how is this even gonna fucking work? Because again, most of these systems are basically just giant computers. In fact, the Switch is nothing more than a fucking tablet. Literally a fucking tablet. No, Nintendo's gonna have a problem too. I can guarantee Nintendo's going to have problems, regardless of whether it's with the Switch, or the Wii, or the Wii U, or any of it. When it comes down to this fucking online marketplace shit, like the 3DS, even though it's still the same fucking marketplace with all the same bullshit, like, quite literally, like, the exact same fucking bullshit, I can't. Like, there's absolutely no fucking way. I cannot play any of the old shit that I don't have that's on my fucking 3DS right now, unless it's either a cartridge or it's already installed. Like, they shut down all support for it. They're not doing updates. You cannot buy anything digital on the fucking 3DS. If I go to mess with my fucking 3DS because there's no fucking updates, or whether it be to the store or for the system or anything else like that, like, if I'm not up to date with it, sorry, too bad, so sad, can't do anything. Right, exactly. Shooters that require you to go online and, you know, actually matchmake with other people, you can't do that. Like, when I got my fucking PlayStation, I ended up getting a first-person shooter just because I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll fucking try it out, see who's online, see what's going on, kill some noobs, have some fucking fun with it. There wasn't fucking nobody online. You literally couldn't get, like, full parties. Not a joke. You could not get full fucking parties not without playing the same 6 people over and 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 over. And half of them motherfuckers were assholes. So you didn't want to talk to them or do anything with them over and over and over again. The only thing that you would want to do with them people over and over and over again would be to literally take their face and bash it up against something like a fucking toilet bowl lid. Like, that's fucking it. Like, I don't know. Like, it just, it wasn't worth my motherfucking time. It just simply, it wasn't. It wasn't worth the time. It wasn't worth the effort. It wasn't worth the energy. So, because there was nobody the fuck to play online, I just wrote it off as a fuck up game. So I played the story for a little bit. After I played the story for a little bit and fucking beat the story, which only took me like 9 hours or some shit, maybe less than that. I was like, well, what the fuck? So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit that's gonna end up going the way of the dodo because of this.
I cannot.
Nah, I'm not worried about it, man. Like I said, when it comes down to it, your list is your list. Like I said, half of these games, it's not gonna be a matter of they can't play, because you will be able to play it. To be fair, Destiny kind of already has been fucked.
Impossible.
But the fuck is that noise? Oh, there's like 2 fucking bugs behind me. Getting me mallet. Ooh, actually you hit me. Good, I can waste the health pot. Thank you. Alright, fuck this shit, I'm out. But yeah, pretty much any online multiplayer game, bye. Like, literally, cross it off the list. You're not gonna be able to play it. Like, you could play it if there's a single-player campaign, but if you were looking forward to being able to play the motherfucker online with other people... Isn't there a fucking trick to dealing with this idiot? Okay, either way, gonna go this way. 'Cause I don't remember the trick to dealing with that guy. I got a War 3, Origins 2. To be fair, God of War, you might be okay with. Like I said, it's hard to tell. Because some of the games, yeah, they'll be absolutely fine. But other games, again, it depends on if it needed like a day 1 patch. Because again, most video games now aren't made day 1. Like, they're not sent out completed. For fuck's sakes. I'm gonna say one game title, and it's 2 syllables. It's 1 word, 2 syllable for the title. Cyberpunk. Game was not finished. Period. The game was not fucking finished. And they shipped it. Why? Because the assholes upstairs in the corporate office buildings with their fucking personal secretaries, who literally it's their entire job, these secretaries, to fucking suck the cocks of these fucking assholes who have no finger on the pulse of video games and what's good and what's bad or anything in between. All they know is make me motherfucking money. Exactly. Cyberpunk had been hyped up for fucking forever. It was another fucking Duke Nukem. They said, we're gonna make a fucking new Duke Nukem game. That shit was back in the motherfucking 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s. They said, we're gonna make fucking Duke Nukem forever. It took them till what, 2010? Something like that to finally make Duke Nukem forever. And that game fucking sucked a cock. It was a fun game. I bought it. I played it. It was a fun little game. But holy sheep shit, is it horrendous compared to what everybody had for the expectations of said game. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had been teased for years and years and years and years, and my neighbor with the shitty motorcycle just drove by, but it had been teased for years and years and years and years and years, and you know what the fuck they did with that game? They turned it into a really, really damn good game, provided that you're playing it on the PC and only on the PC Master Race. If you're playing that game on anything other than the fucking PC with the most advanced systems ever, like you literally have to fucking upgrade your PC to be running shit better than any fucking Alienware computer on the face of the fucking planet. Because that's always the big fucking gaming rig, is Alienware, because they go out of their fucking way to make sure that they've got all the high-end, top-of-the-line fucking graphics cards and cooling systems and everything to make sure that your fucking rig will be able to not only have the compute performance to be able to play the game at fucking max resolution and not fucking stutter,
Impossible.
but it'll fucking make you pancakes and rub your balls for you too. Diablo 3 games. Okay. I mean, in terms of Diablo, I do believe that you should be okay, but to be fair, when I played Diablo, it was actually on the PC. So again, I can't be an expert here. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, because it's telling me that there's boots there. I'm like, what the fuck keeps popping up? Oh, it's because I'm killing people next to a pair of boots. So it's freaking out about the fact that there's fucking boots here. Okay. Wakey, wakey. Oh goody, here we go. And then my other neighbors are fucking outside fucking screaming their heads off about nothing. So yeah, if you start hearing a weird fucking conversation, it's because my neighbors are hooting and hollering. No, the Elder Scrolls games are very good games. The only downfall to the Elder Scrolls games is, again, simply the fact that Bethesda ZeniMax are the ones that fucking make them. Just like Fallout. So all the Bethesda games are soon to go fucking bye-bye since Microsoft bought them. So you're only going to be able to play them on Microsoft and by extension the PC. So Xbox and PC only. But on top of that whole line of dog shit, there's another line of dog shit that comes with them. Because of the way that the games are designed to be like open world games with huge fucking maps, and they're essentially a sandbox, but they don't feel like it, but they are in terms of the map. All of the Elder Scrolls games suffer from like 4 big key problems. The first is the graphics. The graphics will fuck up. Not a question of if and or but the graphics will fuck up. Like, you'll be in the middle of fucking walking down the street, and next thing you know, the road has disappeared, and you're glitched into the floor and can't move. So usually I recommend with any type of Bethesda game Doesn't matter if it's a Fallout or if it's an Elder Scrolls. Save, save, save. Keep 2 or 3 different save files at 2 or 3 different points in the game. Not only because if you die, you could go back and, you know, pick up where you left off at, but at the same time, if something happens, like there's a graphical bug, if a character is, like, you're supposed to talk to a character to complete a fucking quest, and all of a sudden the character gets fucking stuck because they're an NPC in, like, a logic loop, because you accidentally glitched the game at the beginning and you didn't even fucking realize it. That actually does happen sometimes. You can literally glitch the game by using, like, certain exploits, and it'll fuck up certain quests, because part of the glitch, it's going to cause it where now, because there's 2 of one certain spell that there's only supposed to be 1 of, the character that's supposed to give you the fucking spell is no longer going to be able to talk to you, because the amount of spells that are available for him to hand you has now become, like, 2 when it's only supposed to be 1, and the game doesn't know what the fuck to do with that, and it has an aneurysm. Like, that's the reason why my streams will fucking freak out. Like, usually it's because my PlayStation 4 has fucked itself, and sometimes it's hard to say if it's because I used to be a smoker and there's too much fucking, like, nicotine vapor and smoke dust that's been built up into the cooling system, so now because all that's fucked up, it's hard for the system to stay cool, and it's basically, you know, making the system have an aneurysm. Sometimes it's hard to say if because the game was designed to be played on a computer, even though the systems are computers, that's essentially what they are, is they're like a mid-grade computer. Sometimes it'll still fuck up, you know, depending upon when you got the game, like what version of the system that you have, because obviously if you have, like, the later version of the PS3, where it's got way more of, like, the specialty shit to it, you know what I mean, like it's got all the better upgrades in terms of the hard drive that's in it, all of the software, the type of graphics card that they put into it, because they changed out the type of graphics card later on, so that way then you now actually do get a fucking 4K gaming machine, you know, instead of it being like an upscale. So it's still like 1080p, but it's upscaled to make it look like it's 4K. You know what I mean? Like that type of fucking bullshit. Because all of the game systems do that. Every single one of them. Like, to be fair, the rumor mill still keeps coming the fuck out about the new Switch. Like the quote-unquote upgraded version of the Nintendo Switch that's going to be coming out one of these fucking days. And literally, what the rumor mill keeps talking about is that they're going to end up giving it an OLED. So, because it's going to have the OLED, or the organic light-emitting diode. So, essentially what's in most smart TVs nowadays, as compared to the standard LEDs that are in older model TVs from, like, the early teens type of thing. Like, from, I'd say maybe like 2010 to 2015, how you got LED TVs. Well, those LED TVs, while they work using the light-emitting diode, since that's what the fuck LED means, the new OLED type of TVs, like mine is actually an OLED, but only because it's a new 4K TV. But I figured it out, it's because it's not an actual 4K, it has the OLED, and the way that the organic light-emitting diodes work is, if it's supposed to be black, it's going to turn off the black. Like, literally, it's going to turn it off. So, literally, what's being projected is actual, like, black for the color. The whites look as white as they can be, because the LED light that's inside of it is literally as bright of a white light as it can fucking get. You know what I mean? So the colors make it look, a lot of people say, better than native 4K, but again, it's all a matter of personal opinion. Yeah, fuck those games. Fuck those games. Fuck those Castlevania games. Those aren't even fucking Castlevania games. They're not. They're absolutely not. As somebody who's been following the Castlevania series for fucking years, they're not. Like, the mainline Castlevania games are 1, 2, and 3. Super Castlevania, so 4. Symphony of the Night. God damn it. Is it Aria of Sorrow? Or Harmony of Despair? No. No, it's... Okay, look. It's not even a matter of the God of War thing. Those games were designed to basically be a reboot of the Castlevania series, and they fucking failed. They took the Belmont family and turned them into Dracula. Literally, the head Belmont, if you've never played the game, spoilers, but literally they turned the head fucking Belmont into Dracula himself. Which means Alucard, as the son of Dracula, is technically a Belmont. No! Dracula is based off Bram Stoker's book slash play, because he did essentially design it to be a stage play, but it eventually didn't work out that way, so he turned it into an actual book. But it's based off his book, which has loose ties to Vlad Tepes, who was a real-life leader. So it's essentially the exact same thing as turning Napoleon into a hobbit, because he was a teeny tiny little man who had a, well, obviously Napoleon complex. Now, are they bad games? No, they're not bad games. But in terms of the fucking story, they're shite. Not shit, but shite. They're absolute fucking garbage. Again, it has nothing to do with Dracula other than you're a Belmont. You get the whip. The upgrades that you get for the whip eventually turn it into the fucking vampire killer, which again is a whole bunch of dog shit, because technically speaking, there's 2 different games that end up being on the PlayStation. I believe they were either on the PS1 or the PS2. I can't fucking remember, but they were 3D Castlevania games, so some people kind of like it and kind of don't. But to be fair, the character from those games, because I believe it to be the exact same guy, he ends up coming back in other Castlevania games later on. But he's the one that found the whip. He wasn't even a Belmont. He found the whip. It was him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend got bit by Dracula, was being turned into a vampire, and essentially used her soul as basically like a fucking like alchemy thing, like actually transmuted her soul into becoming the vampire killer whip, which the vampire killer whip ended up going to the Belmont family. Now, the guy who did it, I don't believe he actually was a Belmont, but eventually that man ended up, like the man who made the vampire killer whip, trained Trevor Belmont. And since Trevor's the original of the Belmont clan, and it ends up being, because it ends up being Trevor, who ends up hanging out with Sypha, which they end up hooking up, and then that's how you end up getting Simon from the first game. At least I believe I'm doing it in the correct order. To be fair, I haven't actually checked my Castlevania lore in a long goddamn time, so I'm probably doing it wrong, but you get Trevor and Sypha, and then they hang out with Grant and Alucard, because that's the third game. Like I said, if you count the PlayStation games, which there are people who don't, because they're 3D Castlevania games, and some people are like, the 3D Castlevania games don't fucking count, and that's because they played the fucking N64 games, and the N64 games fucking suck a fat cock, but they're non-canon anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. But again, so he ends up with the vampire killer. Then you move into the first and second game. Then next you move over to Symphony of the Night, which ends up being later on down the road after there's been a few different Belmonts throughout the histories. Because technically speaking, it actually goes over to Rondo of Blood, which was Japanese only. Technically speaking, there is the Rondo of Blood Symphony of the Night that's out on the PS4. But again, it does play like old Castlevania, so not like Castlevania 4, which is Super Castlevania, which everybody fucking loves. But to be fair, I'm hit and miss with it. Like, I like it because it's a good Castlevania game, but I also dislike it because since they gave you the ability to use the whip in any fucking direction you want, the fact that you needed to plan out the sub-weapons in order to help you beat the bosses and go through the level, you don't need the fucking sub-weapons. Like, I know everybody's like, oh my god, fucking get off Ego Raptor's nuts, but when he did the sequelitis, he actually pointed it out, and it was the first time that he pointed it out where I was like, oh fuck, that's the reason why that game feels so weird to me. He goes, you can now whip up, down, left, right, and any of the 4 fucking diagonals you want. So why the fuck do I need a fucking vial of holy water to throw on the ground to hit enemies that are on the ground? I literally jump over the motherfucker and throw the whip downward one time. They're dead. Oh, hey, look, there's a bat that's hanging up on the ceiling. I would need an axe to throw it up to hit the bat and kill the bat. Fuck that. I take the whip and I smack the motherfucking bat. It's dead. Oh, hey, look, here's a bunch of mud monsters where I could take a fucking holy cross and I could throw the holy cross like it's a fucking boomerang, and it'll go all the way across and it'll come all the way back and it should hit them both times and deal a lot of fuck that. Whip. I have the whip. The whip is maxed out. The whip maxed out goes all the way across half of the entire fucking screen. Whip the fuck out of them. Done. I don't need it. I don't need any of the fucking sub-weapons. Why do I need the knife? The knife is fucking... the only reason to have the fucking knife in any of the other Castlevania games, like 1, 2, and 3, the reason to get the fucking silver daggered knife is so that way then if there's a fast enemy that's moving right at you, like if there's fast zombies and you can't fucking hit them with the whip fast enough, because the whip has a bit of a delay and it moves kind of slow, you hold up, you hit the button, and you knife. All those zombies are gone. Good, I don't have to worry about it. Now I can go back to walk a couple feet, smack and fucking whip a zombie. Walk a couple feet, smack a fucking whip at a zombie. Move a couple feet, smack a zombie with a whip. Not any fucking more, not in this game. What do? I got a whip. Fuck the knife. The only item that ends up really meaning anything ends up being the clock, and that's only if you're a stupid fuck. Because first of all, the clock wastes 20 hearts. And all it does is it freezes the enemies. So if there's like 800 fucking enemies going crazy on the fucking screen because you were stupid not whipping the fuck out of them, you could pause them, whip the fuck out of them, and then continue on. That's a waste of hearts, which now count as extra points, which gets me to an extra life. So why the fuck would I waste the hearts when I could get extra lives that I'm never going to use anyway, unless I fuck up and accidentally jump into a hole because I was mistiming the jump on like the chandelier part or any of that other shit? But they took that away because in those Castlevania games, we're going to redo the entire storyline, and it's essentially we're rebooting the entire story from the ground up, and we're going to turn the Belmonts into Dracula, and then we're going to make it seem like Dracula's all old-timey and shit, but actually Dracula is still alive, and he's in Japan right now in modern times because there's Yakuza cars driving down the fucking street, literally Yakuza cars. And the cops chasing them in a couple of scenes because, yeah, we had to make sure there's a fucking modern feel to the games like Castlevania takes place now. And the reason being is because they felt people weren't playing the fucking Castlevania games because they moved the Castlevania games over to the handheld systems like the Game Boy Advanced and the DS. because I have both of the games, the main storyline ones that follow Soma Cruz. Because Soma actually is Dracula. He is the reincarnation of Dracula. Because what ends up happening is in Simon's Quest, because you killed Dracula and his head flew way the fuck off, Dracula kerploded into a million pieces. Simon's Quest, you go and pick up the pieces of Dracula, put him in an urn, and burn him, because that's what you're supposed to do to kill a vampire. The actual way, based off the lore written by Bram Stoker him fucking self, is to kill a vampire. Step one is you put a stake in the heart. The stake in the heart does not kill them. The stake in the heart keeps them from being able to regenerate, because you split the heart into multiple pieces. So because you split the heart into multiple pieces, you're supposed to put each piece of the heart, you're supposed to cut it into 4 with a cross, literally into 4 pieces with like an up and down and a left and right like it's a cross. So cross your heart, and you take each one of the pieces, put it in its own individual pot, bury it in 4 different corners of the countryside, so that way then if some dumb motherfucker does find the vase or something happens to it, it can't fucking come back without the other pieces. You then cut the head off the vampire, stuff garlic in its mouth, and bury the head face down. Once again, where nobody's gonna come digging the motherfucking thing up, but you cut the head off, put garlic in the mouth, and bury it face down in the dirt, so if it does wake up, if it starts shouting, the vibrations won't be heard by the people above. And then from there, you take the rest of the body, you draw it and quarter it, and then you basically tie it in a bundle, burn it, bless the ashes with holy water to basically make a mud, and then you take that mud and you put it inside of another vase. Usually they'll put that vase inside of a chest or something like that. Tie a rope or something like chain with a rock, and you dump it into a river, because the moving water will keep the vampire from actually coming back. And that's how you're supposed to actually kill a fucking vampire. Anyway, that shit aside. Dark Souls 2. Fair enough. Like I said, that one may work, but again, I don't really play those games, so... And I'm sorry for going off on that tirade on you there, man, but holy fuck. Like, Castlevania already had a fuck ton of really good games. They didn't need to reboot the series. The only reason why it is that they actually did reboot the fucking series, well, 1 was to piss people off with it, and 2... it was because a lot of people had fallen off when they moved it over to the handhelds, so they didn't know that Soma Cruz was the reincarnation of Dracula. And again, all that aside, that's because in the first game you kill Dracula, in the second game you basically take his body parts and burn him to finish, everything. In Symphony of the Night, I believe that. But no, in Symphony of the Night, because... okay, well, technically in Rondo of Blood, when Dracula comes back, because Dracula's reincarnated, because they fucked up burning all the pieces of Dracula originally, so there was one piece that they missed, and he was able to come back. So... what ends up happening next then ends up being... yeah, then it goes to Rondo of Blood, where Dracula is actually killed. And because Dracula is freshly dead, and unfortunately Richter is an idiot, and didn't know the proper way to actually dispose of Dracula, the priest Shaft basically takes the pieces of Dracula, kidnaps Richter, and turns Richter into basically the lord of the castle, which the castle Dracula resides in, is known as Castlevania, hence the name of the games. So Alucard has to come back and basically kills his father in the demon realm. Well, not in the demon realm, but basically in the spirit world, in quotes. So because he kills him in the spirit world, it's easier for them to dispose of the body pieces and keep him from coming back. So then we go to the Game Boy games, where Soma Cruz is just an average kid living in Japan. When there's a fucking solar eclipse, he gets taken into the solar eclipse, because the solar eclipse allows him into the, quote, dark universe where Dracula's supposed to be hiding. And through a series of events, because his body is supposed to be the new vessel for the reincarnation of Dracula, but because Dracula's soul had been lost, he couldn't just become Dracula and fuck off. So Soma is actually in control of Dracula's spirit, and even though he is Dracula, he has his powers, but he's more like Alucard. And then you get to the second game on the DS, where essentially a bunch more bullshit happens, where there's a group of people trying to prove to him that, no, you could be a fucking complete and total piece of shit and actually become the Dracula. And he's like, fuck you! I'm like a fucking 15-year-old kid trying to get through fucking... Well, he's in Japan, so college, not so much high school. But he's like, I'm a 15-year-old kid fucking trying to get through goddamn college. Fuck off. Leave me be. I got me and my girl and my job and other shit that I have to fucking deal with on top of actually being fucking Dracula. Eat a dick. Just let me go home. So he's got to deal with that bullshit. And hilarity ensues. I believe that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, when it comes down to it, don't just toss the fucking games to the side. Like, don't get rid of them. What I'm going to recommend that you do is go ahead, write the list like you originally had planned, the 80 some odd that you got to. I think you said it was like 86. Write out the list as you had planned. Anything that you feel is not going to do well because you're not going to have access to an internet or is going to need a day one patch, just like put an asterisk next to it, so that way then you know, hey, this is shit that needs to be online. So the main single player campaign mode, that's the only thing you're going to be able to play, and it might work, it might not. And then anything that you don't believe is going to need a day one patch or anything like that, go ahead and leave. And really the big thing that I'm going to recommend is anything, I mean, absolutely was over 100 originally. No, I could believe that, because during my rants you probably found a fuck ton more. But either way, anything that you know for a fact, like I said, the Dragon Ball Z games, like the Xenoverse games and that, where it's got a create a character feature, because especially Bandai and Namco, what is it? It's Bandai Namco. I believe the company name is W Force. Like I said, they're the ones that have their hands in all the Dynasty Warriors games. I have so much shit here. I'm trying to find it. There's the One Piece game. Let me see. Bandai Namco, Funimation, Toei Animation. Where the fuck? Because there's another fucking company that's involved with this shit too. Because they're the ones that actually produce the games for Bandai Namco. I don't know, but either way, because they help to produce the Tales games as well. So a lot of the shit that they end up doing is irritating. But mostly if you're trying to stream the game without a capture card, because they don't allow you to actually stream it. Because anytime that story comes up, it's a pain in the ass. But I don't think you're going the streaming route like myself or Ronan or Bill, so you don't have to worry about that type of shit. But like I said, most of those games, though, they make you sign an end-user agreement, and if you can't connect to the internet to be able to sign the end user agreement and send it back to them saying, yeah, I signed it, let me play the game, you're not going to be able to play the fucking game. So, and again, it's not just the sake of having the fucking internet access, meaning if you don't pay your fucking internet bill, you're not going to be able to play it. I mean, it's literally comes down to a matter of if it can't go back to the server, which they're shutting down, you're kind of butt-fucked, you know what I mean? So, Turok and Conan. Well, I mean, to be fair, I believe both of those games you should be okay with. The only downfall with Conan is... I remember Lollipop Chainsaw being a good game. I believe that there is a patch that has to be downloaded for it. But again, it's still one of those things where as long as you have the game now, and you could basically pop it in and download the fucking day one patches to your system, that's really the only thing that really you have to worry about. Is any of the games that you have, out of the 100 games that you have, you basically just need to pop the fucker in, turn it on for all of 2 seconds, and then take it the fuck out. Like, turn it on, get to the main screen, like the main title screen, maybe play like 5 minutes of the game, like actual gameplay 5 minutes, and then you can turn the motherfucker off. Which, speaking of turning the motherfucker off, I now have to shit, so I'm gonna need to get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry I missed you guys, missed you specifically, Chris, on Thursday, since you're the only person who really comes and hangs out with me. I know Bill will sometimes watch my shit afterwards in the VOD. Ronan will sometimes stop in, but I know his life is busy, and I actually need to fucking DM him tonight and just be like, hey man, look, here's what the situation is. Because I know he was wanting to have a co-host for his Twitch streams and shit, since he's getting everything set up. So I'm gonna try to figure that shit out with him, because I did have a couple developments happen last week, which is another reason why I didn't get a chance to stream. So we're gonna get some shit figured out. But if things work out, which I'll know tomorrow when I complete my phone interview, I might be working like a pseudo third shift soon. Okay, that's cool, man. But yeah, I might be working a pseudo third shift soon, so it'll be like the ass end of a second shift into a third, if not just a full-blown third shift, which will suck for filming the Sentai. I know that for a fact. Oh, excuse me. But at the same time, that's not the part that I'm worried about. I'm just worried about getting another fucking job and being able to pay my fucking bills. But I still haven't told my old company I'm quitting yet, so I need to do that soon. But like I said, I gotta piss and shit, so I'm trying to make this quick. But yeah, I almost got the job thing figured out. If that works out the way that I think it does, like I said, it'll be a pseudo third shift, and who knows, I might start streaming first thing in the morning on Twitch on like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then I'll still do like the Tuesday and Thursday night streams. Obviously, they're probably not going to go from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. I might have to change that now, where it goes from like 6 o'clock until 8, depending on when I have to work and what my schedule looks like. And sometimes I might just miss the fucking YouTube streams altogether. But that, or I may have to shift those to being early morning as well. That way then I can do the streaming thing and still have a 9 to 5. But like I said, I'll get that shit figured out. But either way, I will catch you on Thursday, man. And we'll do us some more talking and get some more shit taken care of. Because I know the big things that I wanted to talk about tonight was like the Dan Avidan thing from Game Grumps. The shooting that happened yesterday as well. Just the general craziness with them shutting down the networks. You know, everything like that. But we really only got to like a handful of stuff because I got sidetracked. So hopefully we'll get to that shit on Thursday. But I'll catch you later, man.